If there is one place in the world where the sound of a roaring V12 blends perfectly with the golden glow of the Riviera night, creating a kind of magnetic energy that stops people in their tracks, it's Monaco. By day, this tiny kingdom is a paradise of supercars. But when darkness falls, everything you thought you knew about luxury is pushed to an entirely different level. Ferraris, McLarens, and Bugattis glide through the streets like living streaks of light. And the billionaires stepping out of them carry stories that never make the headlines. Monaco at night isn't just about parties. It's a stage where influence becomes visible, where connections form quietly, and where moments worth millions unfold behind softly lit terraces and private marina decks. And all of it begins the moment the clock hits 11 p.m. Before we dive deeper into this hidden world, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Inside The Billionaires, where every episode unlocks a new chapter of the lifestyle only a few will ever experience. Stay until the end, because a surprising truth about Monaco's nightlife, one very few people know, is waiting for you in the final section. The moment the sun disappears behind the cliffs of the Riviera, Monaco enters a completely different rhythm. A rhythm so polished, so perfectly choreographed, that you instantly feel this isn't nightlife. This is a world built for people who treat luxury as a daily language. The first sign of it begins right at 8 p.m. when the line of Rolls-Royce Phantoms and Maybachs starts forming at the entrance of the city's most exclusive evening spots. Their passengers don't rush, don't look around, and don't need attention. Because in Monaco, true status is never loud. It's simply understood the moment they arrive. As the sky darkens, even the sidewalks seem to glow differently. Billionaires, founders, young heirs, and international elites move through the night with the calm confidence of people for whom nothing is out of reach. Conversations are quiet. Movements are slow. Every detail, from a tailored jacket to the way a hand rests on a champagne glass, sends a message to the room. And what surprises many visitors is that, here, extravagance isn't the goal. Effortless control is. This is the hour when power begins to shift. Deals that would take weeks elsewhere begin with a glance across a rooftop bar. A simple nod can invite someone into a circle that others spend years trying to approach. Even the atmosphere feels intentional, like a soft, curated environment designed to make you forget time, rules, and limits. And once you step into this rhythm, you realize that nighttime Monaco isn't just about entertainment. It's where influence becomes visible. What makes it even more fascinating is how seamlessly this transformation happens. The city doesn't announce anything, yet every billionaire knows exactly where to be, who to meet, and what moment not to miss. It's almost as if Monaco whispers a silent signal each night, one that only a very select group can hear. And that quiet signal leads to a place even more unexpected, a space where the real heartbeat of the city begins, and where the night reveals its first layer of secrets that only get deeper as the hours pass. Long before the music in Monaco's nightlife reaches its peak, another kind of symphony begins on the streets, the symphony of engines. When the night settles in, the city transforms into a moving gallery of the world's rarest machines. A bright red Ferrari SF90 drifts quietly into Casino Square, followed by a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ wrapped in a satin finish that seems to glow under the streetlights. Minutes later, a Bugatti Chiron eases into position with the same confidence as someone walking into their own home. But what makes these nightly supercar moments so captivating is not just the cars themselves, it's the way they are used. Here, supercars aren't purchased for speed or thrill. They're statements. In Monaco, the model, the color, the custom exhaust note, even the timing of someone's arrival all communicate something specific. Status, taste, reputation, and sometimes an unspoken challenge to the other drivers watching from across the street. Every night, locals and tourists gather around Casino Square and the Fairmont hairpin, not because they expect a race, but because they want to witness the silent competition between the world's wealthiest. A billionaire may cruise in slowly just to let the headlights reflect off the marble walls of Hôtel de Paris. Another might rev the engine of a one-off McLaren to announce their arrival, while someone else might simply park a Koenigsegg Jesko in the most visible spot and walk away like it's no big deal. Yet, behind all the glamour, there is a deeper layer that most people completely overlook. These supercars often act as invitations. A rare model or a custom color can signal that the owner has just arrived in town, that a deal has closed, that a celebration is about to begin, or that a certain private event is now open to the right people. In Monaco, the streets speak. You just have to know how to listen. And as stunning as these displays are, they're only the surface. Because while the world's eyes follow the supercars outside, something far more exclusive is unfolding just a few floors above them. Something that turns Monaco's nightlife into a universe only a handful will ever get close to. High above the noise of Monaco's glowing streets, a very different world begins to wake up. A world that most visitors will never see and most locals only hear rumors about. These are the rooftop sanctuaries of the ultra-rich, private terraces, hidden lounges, and invitation-only sky bars that float above the Riviera like secret observatories. From up here, the city below looks like a jewelry box. But for the people inside, this is more than a view. It's a gateway into the highest layer of Monaco's social hierarchy. Unlike regular nightlife venues, these rooftops don't advertise themselves. There are no bright signs, no open doors, no lines of people hoping to get inside. Access usually arrives as a message from a private assistant, a nod from a familiar face, or a discreet invitation passed during a casual afternoon coffee. Once you step inside, everything changes. The lighting softens, conversations drop to a near whisper, and a quiet confidence fills the room. The kind that comes from people who are used to being at the top. Here, menus don't really exist because nothing is standard. Drinks are curated based on the guest list, playlists shift depending on who has arrived, and the staff knows exactly when to appear and when to disappear. A billionaire might discuss a new investment while another quietly watches the harbor below, memorizing the names of every yacht anchored that night. In these spaces, the smallest details matter. A rare bottle opened without announcement, a seat offered at just the right moment, a handshake that lasts 1 second longer than usual. And once you're on a Monaco rooftop, you begin to sense a pattern. Not everyone here is just enjoying the night. Some are tracking movements, some are preparing meetings, some are waiting for someone specific to walk through the door. These rooftops don't just overlook Monaco, they control it in subtle ways. But the most intriguing part is that these sky-high sanctuaries are only the beginning of the night. Because once the right people gather, and once a certain signal is exchanged, often something as simple as a glance, the party quietly shifts somewhere even more exclusive, to a place the public never even realizes exists. While the rooftops of Monaco glow softly under the night sky, the real heartbeat of the city begins down at the harbor, where the world's most extravagant yachts transform into floating private clubs. From a distance, they look calm, almost motionless, but the closer you get, the more you realize these vessels hold stories, connections, and moments that rarely escape into the outside world. If Monaco's streets belong to supercars, then its nights belong entirely to the yachts. As midnight approaches, a subtle shift happens along Port Hercule. Deck lights brighten, soft music fills the air, and a few select guests begin stepping aboard. There are no red carpets, no photographers, no spectacle, because exclusivity here is defined by absence, not display. A single invitation to one of these yachts often carries more weight than attending any public event in the city. The people who gather here aren't just wealthy, they're influential enough to make things happen with a single conversation. Inside, every yacht feels like its own universe. Some rooms serve as lounges filled with quiet debates about investments or emerging industries. Others hold small gatherings where fashion icons, tech founders, and global entrepreneurs trade ideas as naturally as if they were discussing the weather. Even the music changes depending on who's present. Sometimes a DJ, sometimes a live violinist, sometimes simple silence broken only by the waves outside. Yet, despite the luxury, what stands out most is how intentional everything feels. Seating arrangements are planned, guest lists are curated with precision, and even the lighting is adjusted to match the kind of discussions expected that night. You can sense when a major deal is forming, when two powerful figures are being subtly introduced, or when someone is quietly gathering information before making a move that could ripple through Monaco's social and financial world. And just when the atmosphere seems perfectly still, as if the night could stretch on forever, something unexpected often happens. A discreet arrival by boat, a name whispered only once, or a door that opens to a private upper deck reserved for a conversation so important that even most guests on board never know it occurred. It's moments like these that reveal the truth. The yachts of Monaco aren't just symbols of wealth. They're rooms where futures are shaped. Just when the night begins to settle into its rhythm, the hum of engines fading, the glow of rooftops softening, the yachts drifting into quiet conversation, another layer of Monaco nightlife emerges, one that is as intriguing as it is mysterious. This is the world of the Monaco Angels, the elegant, influential, and impossibly polished women who play an unspoken role in the social gravity of the Riviera. They are not simply models or influencers. Many come from powerful families. Some have built their own brands. Others navigate international business with the same confidence they show when stepping out of a supercar in high heels. What they all share is a presence so captivating that even the wealthiest men in the city pause for a moment when they walk into a room. Their entrances are never loud, yet impossible to ignore. A sleek silhouette at the bar, a shimmer of couture under the rooftop lights, or the reflection of diamond earrings when they glance toward the sea, these gestures alone can shift the energy of an entire venue. And in Monaco, where appearances speak louder than words, the Monaco Angels often shape the direction of the night without even trying. The dynamic they create with billionaires is equally fascinating. Conversations begin subtly. A shared comment about a vintage car, a compliment on a watch, a brief exchange about a yacht seen earlier in the evening, but beneath the casual tone lies something far more deliberate. These women understand the social patterns of Monaco better than anyone. They can sense who just closed a business deal, who is looking for a new partnership, who is celebrating quietly, and who is simply observing. For billionaires, their presence can open doors or close them. A casual introduction made by one of these angels might lead to a high-level meeting the next morning. A recommendation whispered during a rooftop after-party might decide which yacht someone ends up visiting later that night. Their influence is subtle but undeniable. And yet, the most intriguing part is that none of this is random. The Monaco Angels appear when it matters, disappear when the timing is right, and somehow know exactly which events, which rooftops, and which yachts will be the center of gravity for the night. Their intuition seems almost strategic. And what happens when they gather in the same place can shift the entire direction of Monaco's nightlife in ways no one talks about openly. If Monaco's streets are the runway for supercars and its rooftops are the observatories of influence, then the Casino de Monte Carlo is the city's beating heart, the place where confidence, intuition, and calculated risk blend into a single, unforgettable experience. But what most people don't realize is that the casino at night feels nothing like the casino by day. After midnight, it becomes a sanctuary for those who are used to operating at the highest levels of power. The moment a billionaire steps through the marble entrance, the atmosphere shifts. The lighting grows warmer, the music softens, and the staff instantly recognizes who requires privacy and who prefers attention. Public gaming tables continue for tourists, but the true action takes place behind discreet doors, inside private salons built for calm faces and deliberate decisions. A single hand at these tables can cost more than a luxury car, yet no one raises their voice, no one shows frustration, and no one seems surprised by the amounts in play. Here, the tension is not about winning or losing, it's about control. Every move, a tap on the table, a glance toward the dealer, a slow inhale before placing a bet, reveals how much someone trusts their instincts in a moment that could shift millions. Some players come to celebrate, others come to test their focus. A few come because the casino offers something they don't get anywhere else, a space where every distraction disappears. What makes this world even more fascinating is the people who gather around it. Tech founders fresh off a major breakthrough, old money heirs who grew up around risk, fashion moguls who negotiate quietly between turns, crypto millionaires checking charts between hands. They study each other subtly, building connections not through introductions, but through shared adrenaline. And sometimes, away from the green felt tables, even more important decisions happen. A partnership sealed over a drink, a handshake confirming a deal that began hours earlier on a yacht, or an invitation whispered to join an after-hours meeting that only a handful are ever allowed to attend. But the real secret of Monaco's casino nights lies in a place even fewer people know exists. A hidden area where the stakes are not financial at all, and where the conversations can influence far more than a single game. While most people imagine Monaco's nightlife as a swirl of lights, music, and champagne, the truth is far more strategic. Beneath the glamorous surface lies a quiet network of high-level conversations, moments that look casual from the outside, but carry the weight of decisions that can shift industries. And it's during the late-night hours, when the crowds thin and the city slows, that the most important exchanges begin. In a dim corner of a rooftop lounge, two founders might sit side by side, speaking in calm tones about a project that could reshape a sector of technology. On the deck of a yacht softly rocking in the harbor, a financier and a developer review plans for a waterfront property deal that has been whispered about all summer. Across town, inside a minimalist suite at Hôtel de Paris, a small group of investors gathers around a low table, not to celebrate, but to quietly finalize a funding round that will be announced months later. There are no presentations, no official meetings, no boardrooms. Everything happens through the subtle language of Monaco. A raised eyebrow that signals agreement, a slight nod that confirms interest, a quiet toast that seals understanding. The people involved don't need contracts in the moment. Their reputations act as currency, and their ability to sense opportunity is sharper than any legal document. The most surprising part is how seamlessly these conversations weave into the night. A guest may wander from a rooftop bar to a yacht, from a private salon to a hotel suite, each stop adding a new piece to a larger puzzle. And while outsiders see only parties, insiders recognize that every shift in setting marks a new phase of negotiation. What started as small talk at dinner may turn into a handshake worth millions by 3 a.m. And yet, the real intrigue lies not in the deals that close, but in the ones that almost happen. The ideas exchanged but not pursued. The alliances hinted at but left unspoken. The powerful figures who appear for only a few minutes say almost nothing, but leave a ripple that changes the direction of the entire night. Because after these quiet negotiations fade into the early morning air, something even more exclusive begins, a gathering so private that even many of Monaco's elite rarely hear a whisper about it. As the night stretches toward 2 or 3 a.m., even the most dazzling parts of Monaco begin to quiet down. The yachts fall into stillness, the rooftops dim, the casino returns to its elegant silence. It feels as if the city is finally resting. But this is exactly the moment when Monaco's most secretive ritual begins. A ritual known only through whispers. The Golden Midnight Circle. There is no official name, no public record, no visible membership. Some say it's a rotating group of influential figures who help shape Monaco's culture, investments, and social pulse. Others believe it's a small circle of individuals connected not by wealth alone, but by trust built over years of discreet collaboration. What's certain is this: if you receive an invitation, you are considered part of the innermost fabric of Monaco's elite. The meeting places change constantly. Sometimes it's a candlelit room hidden behind a wine cellar in a luxury hotel. Sometimes it's the upper deck of a yacht that appears completely deserted from the outside. Sometimes it's a penthouse terrace with no lights on, only the moon reflecting off the sea. The atmosphere is always calm, almost meditative. Conversations are deliberate, measured, and far more personal than the polished discussions happening earlier in the night. Here, people don't talk about parties or appearances. They talk about long-term visions, cultural projects, emerging technologies, global shifts, philanthropic initiatives, and opportunities that require not just capital, but alignment. Members share information with a level of openness that even close business partners rarely experience. It's less about transactions and more about influence, understanding where the world is moving and deciding, together, how Monaco can stay ahead of it. What makes the Golden Midnight Circle even more fascinating is the presence of a few unexpected figures. Individuals who avoid the spotlight, rarely post online, and almost never appear in public events. Yet their quiet authority is recognized instantly by everyone in the room. One of them, a woman known only by her initials, is said to have played a silent but pivotal role in the rise of several of Monaco's most iconic ventures. And just when the discussions reach a point of perfect clarity, the meeting ends as quietly as it began. No announcements, no photos, no traces. By sunrise, the members disperse across the city, blending back into ordinary billionaire life, while Monaco wakes up, completely unaware that the direction of its future shifted just hours earlier. As dawn approaches, Monaco slowly returns to the quiet beauty most of the world recognizes: calm waters, polished streets, and the soft morning light reflecting off the cliffs. But after witnessing the true rhythm of its nightlife, you realize something extraordinary. Behind every glowing terrace, every engine roar, every whisper on a yacht, and every glass raised in the casino, there is a hidden ecosystem of influence that only a few ever experience. Here, nights aren't just celebrations, they're signals. They reveal who's rising, who's connecting, who's taking risks, and who quietly guides the energy of the Riviera from the shadows. And while the world sees glamour, those who look closer understand that Monaco at night is a living blueprint of billionaire life. Precise, intentional, and endlessly captivating. Thank you for staying with Inside the Billionaires until the end of this journey. If you enjoyed diving into Monaco's secret world of supercars, rooftops, yachts, and midnight power circles, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. There are many more hidden worlds waiting to be uncovered. Because in the next episode, we'll explore a side of Monaco even more exclusive. A side where wealth isn't just displayed, it's engineered.